I just got the okay that we're ready to rock and roll. So good morning, Wellspring, and all of you out in Zoom land.
Good morning.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vicki Avery. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees, and I'm very honored to be here today to be of service. This is Sunday, April 11th, and we have an extra special treat with a guest musician today, and we have a little furry master of ceremonies today as well. So we'll start off with a few announcements. For those of you out in Zoom land, you can't see her, but Betty Minden is in the house today. Welcome back, Miss Betty. Bev Nelson is back. Shirley Angel Love and Elena just walked in, and Miss Judy Westfall's here, along with all of our other wonderful Wellspring folk. Okay, we've got the slides up and going. Early Birds is meeting on Sunday mornings at 9:30 via Zoom, so you can be comfortable and stay at home in your jammies. The link is at the website. Speakers for the rest of April next week will be Edward Burlbaugh, and on the 25th actually is Peggy Shin. And if you'd like to look at any of the archives of previous services, you can go to our website and just follow the arrows and call it up. We also want to remind everybody that our prayer team meets every Tuesday afternoon at 4:15 via Zoom. So if you would like to have the prayer team pray with you, you can give that information at the website or contact Martha Ward or Geneva Collins specifically. And you may consider sitting in a quiet space during that time as prayer team works with you, because we know that we're all one in spirit and that energy goes everywhere. Also want to remind you, we don't have a slide on this, but want to remind you that our monthly board meeting will be meeting via Zoom this Wednesday evening at 6:30. So if you'd like to join the Zoom, and we encourage all of you to come and give your input, contact Edward and he will give you the link to that Zoom meeting. Pretty. And for today's invocation, as we call Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit, we're going to hear the prayer of Saint Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is the giving that we receive, and it is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in the dying that we are born to eternal life. And so it is. And so now, if you are able, if you would please stand for our Song of Joy.
There is a flower in the sea.
Thank you, Taylor and Mark and everyone here. I hope it sounded as beautiful in your own home as it does here in the sanctuary. So now, if you would like to join together in reading our vision, mission, and affirmation. Our vision: to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our mission: to support individual spiritual quests through celebration, study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. And our affirmation: I open my heart and mind to the joy of spirit operating in every situation in my life. I accept and receive the unlimited flow of abundance in my world. I attract loving and supporting relationships around me. I am connected to the wisdom of spirit in every decision I make. Thank you, everyone. And now it's time for music from Taylor and Mark. They sat down and got very comfortable.
So this first song that we're doing today is one that Judy had suggested, and it's one that I haven't sang in a really long time. It's How Much Is That Doggy in the Window? An oldie but a goodie. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart alone. If he has a dog, he won't be lonesome, and the doggy will have a good home. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I read in the paper there are robbers with flashlights that shine in the dark. My love needs a doggy to protect him and scare them away with one bark. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. I don't want a bunny or a kitty. I don't want a parrot that talks. I don't want a bowl of little fishies. You can't take a goldfish for a walk. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy, I do hope that doggy, I do hope that doggy is for sale.
Thank you. That was so much fun. Thank you. Well, today's reading comes from a Science of Mind magazine from April of 2012. in an article by Reverend Andriette Earle. Her column is called From the Inside Out. Ernest Holmes said, "The trained mind is far more powerful than the untrained mind." His wisdom went straight to my heart and changed my life. Training the mind is the key. It's like training our beloved pets. We all want our pets to be happy and free, but no one wants an untrained, wayward dog, running here and there and chasing cars, humping legs, and snapping at people. We want our pets to heel when we say so. The same process works when training your mind. When you catch your mind running wild through the pain and despair of the past, reel it in. Pull your leash and lovingly guide yourself back to the center point. Just say, heal. It's that simple. What a blessing. We're all choosing at all times whether to be a servant to the past or a master to the future. We must retrain our minds to recalibrate our hearts. I'm going to say that again. We must retrain our minds to recalibrate our hearts. Perfect balance, being on point, is God's great gift for us. It's a gift that we can choose the mental attitude, emotional state, and spiritual practice we want to experience. No matter how off course we may have gotten in relationships, finances, career, or health, choosing rightly restores balance. With the highest intention and commitment, let's move forward to the perfect point on the continuum and get into the flow and on point. Today we have a special treat. We have a special guest along with our special speaker. If you've ever found yourself loved by an animal or ever have loved one, you've already experienced the ministry of animals. You may have also experienced that this love can be healing and redemptive. You may also have experienced it as painful and sad. But many of you will bear witness to the power of our relationship with animals and how that power has transformed us physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And now, our speaker, Judy Bethmann, and our guest.
There I am. Who is that old woman there? My God. Now, lest you think that Bethmann has truly lost her mind this Sunday, I want to point out that in the Science of Mind, every month, there is Dogma by Murphy. How many of you knew Murphy was in the Science of Mind? Okay? It behooves you to read Murphy's thought. He's the human whisperer. And we'll talk about Murphy a little later. But, so, I mean, it's part of the macrocosm that is Science of Mind. So, how are we doing? There's Murphy there. Isn't he cute? Cute? Okay, let's see if I turn this on. So, how do I turn this on, Edwin? The clicker. Yes, there is. Hot dog, okay. Let's see. Now, sometimes I think with our messages here at Wellspring, we get too caught up in our anxiety to become more spiritual and we're too serious. So that's why I decided to do this presentation. See if it works. says. Oh, what happened? Oop. Right, okay. Isn't that hilarious? The pup pope, or the pooped pup pope. I saw that picture and I thought I had to share that. Dogs, the scientific name is Canis lupus familiaris. Isn't that cool? And dog is God, backwards. See? Okay. The fidelity of a dog is a precious gift demanding no less moral responsibilities than the friendship of a human being. The bond with a dog is as lasting as the ties that this earth can ever be. Conrad Lorenz was a Nobel Prize winner for animal husbandry and animal behavior. Exactly. Now, we know that the dog's closest relative is the wolf. However, the dog is the oldest domesticated animal prior to the what's the word I want? The starting of agriculture. The dog was domesticated 150,000 years ago. See, it didn't do that when I practiced it. Okay, there it is. Now we're too far back. Sorry, guys, I practiced Friday and it went perfect. All right, when the dog, or when the wolf was around during the time of the cavemen, some wolves decided, oh, it's like nicer being warmer near these other creatures, and sometimes the cavemen would throw the wolf's bones and stuff, and pretty soon they became friends, and the dogs also could bark when predators were around, and filled a whole variety of needs for the primitives. And we know that dogs work for us. There's the wonderful shepherd there corralling the sheep and making sure predators stay away. And there's the Iditarod dog sled. Dogs are amazing, and we know that his olfactory senses are enormous compared to humans, and therefore they use them to find cadavers and help the handicapped. I think it's marvelous that they have trained dogs to find out when an epileptic is about to have a seizure. The dog, because there's some sort of gas or aroma the epileptic emits, and I think that's just amazing that dogs can do that. Now, there are more variety of dogs than there are on any other species in the planet. I thought bugs, I mean, how many ants are there? Like a bazillion, right? But, so I was astonished when I did my research there. So we go from bulldog to papillon, from B to P. I didn't know if there was a Z. Is there a Z dog? I don't know. There's an X dog. The Mexican dog is an X dog? Wow. Social Quincy? Wonderful. Thank you very much. That's what I like, audience participation, you see. Okay. Now, part of this is taken verbatim from this little book called Diary of a Mindful Dog. Simple Thoughts from a Not So Simple Dog. And there's Murphy, R. Murphy from Science of Mind. He wrote a book that was translated because he told his owner, Bob Luckin, and he's a 10-pound Maltese Poodle Terrier mix. So Murphy has had a lot to say. I stand beside you. I may not see the first or catch the second of your tears. I cannot stop them. They belong to you, as does your smile, your laughter, and your song of life. I will walk next to you. If that's your desire, I will stand by you and hold your heart with mine. I will love you the way good friends do. I will listen when your soul whispers. I will listen to the heartbeat of your song. I will feed your dreams and blanket them with petals of a rose. I'll be there when you harvest the good that you have planted. You can lean on me for courage to remove the stones of doubt and worry. I will stand by you when you are strong and during your darkest hour. I will encourage you to find words you need to speak with love and power. You are here to live your life in dreams. You are the colors that create the rainbow. Your heart has wings strong enough to lift you above the darkest night. I am your best friend, standing here beside you. People often say that in order to avoid feeling overwhelmed by life, a person must learn to still their mind. For some, finding inner quiet may be easy. For others, they just roll their eyes in frustration. When you find yourself feeling stressed about something, it may seem impossible to quiet your mind. Often when you are in that kind of situation, you just want to run away and get away from it all. I recommend running and barking. Just do what I do. Run as hard and as fast as you can. Run until your legs feel like they're going to fall off. There's one problem, though. People don't like all the loud barking. They say it's annoying and you don't want to do that. So instead of barking, there are a few other things you can do to still your mind. Sing a quiet song, taking a bath, going on a long walk, working in the garden, meditating, or actually going for a run. If you can't physically run, then imagine yourself running. I think humans don't realize how much energy accompanies fear and anxiety. When you find a physical way to express energy, you are on the right path to finding balance. When people see me run through the house as fast as I can, they think it's funny. Maybe it is, but for me, it's just one of the ways I express excitement, love, and fear. Running and barking brings calmness to me. You may need to experiment to find what brings calmness to you. There should be an obedience school for humans. The first thing they'll learn is that life is to be lived, not managed. Those enrolled will be encouraged to stop thinking about what they do for a living, how much money they make, and how many important people they know. Students will learn to run in circles as fast as they can, like I do, and enjoy going nowhere. Successful students will savor life the way I love a good bone. Students will discover that simple things, like a walk or playing ball with someone, will give them inner happiness. They will grasp the value of being obedient to love instead of being driven by power and control. The advanced students will learn to enjoy the excitement of hearing the wind blow. They will smile when they feel the sun's warmth touch their skin. They will marvel at the bird song and how the ocean wave feels washing over their feet. This school will have very few rules. Too many humans already think that life is all about following the rules. There'll be no dogma. Dogma makes the body stiff and the heart cold. When they graduate, they will know that the meaning of play and will keep their lives simple enough to enjoy. Graduates will love unconditionally, laugh a lot, and smile even more. A finely dressed man asked me once what kind of dog I am. I replied, I'm a dog with no shoes. Shoes would make my feet sad. If my feet couldn't touch the ground, I would not be able to feel my soul. Again he asked, what kind of dog are you? I'm a dog with no bed. If I were to sleep in a bed every night, I would only be able to dream dreams the size of my bed. Then what kind of dog talks to people? I'm the kind of dog who smiles when I see your heart, dances with your mind, and loves you beyond words. I'm a dog that can roll in the mud and make friends with a fox, a bird, and an owl. I have 4 legs instead of 2 because I have so many places to go. I can smell a blossoming rose a mile away, and I can hear the heartbeat of a child's song. I have no clothes, so I don't have a washing machine, a laundry room, or a closet. I don't have a mirror to see myself dressed in fine clothes. I'm a little dog with hair growing everywhere. I love people unconditionally and play more than I eat. People keep me because they need to be reminded to discard the things that bind them. I'm the dog who knows how important love is. Once I ate the chicken ice cream cookies and French bread on the white sofa in our living room. People really get mad when I eat their food. Sometimes they don't put it out of my reach, but that's another lesson. When they discovered what I had done, they yelled at me and I felt bad and unwanted. The next day I watched them clean the sofa and realized they didn't hate me after all. I heard them explain to a friend how radical forgiveness is possible only when a person forgiving has the capacity to love. I know my family loves me because they didn't give me away after I ate their food. It may seem radical to forgive someone who has really hurt you, but choosing to not love someone ever again because of something they did is much more radical. If someone seems angry towards me, I step back, and if necessary, I drop my head down low and look up with sad eyes to show them how sorry I am. If someone wants to punish and hurt me, there is possibly a deeper reason for their anger that has nothing to do with me. I'm very good at forgiving people. It would be pretty radical if I refused to forgive them for being human. The most radical thing I can imagine doing is withholding love. It's clear to me for both humans and dogs, love is the thing we most need to give and receive. Because I'm a dog, I don't have the same fondness for cats as humans do. But I confess as to having developed a great respect for them. Every morning a brown cat named Nutmeg leaves the house across the street, comes over to my yard, jumps on the fence and into the back, out to the other side so he can sit about 50 feet from the hole in the ground. He sits there hour after hour watching for the mole. Twice in the last week, I watched a mole leave the house as Nutmeg planned his attack. Twice, Nutmeg came within inches of catching the mole. Nutmeg never said, "Guess I'll quit since I'm not much of a hunter." Nutmeg never went off to a corner to brood about his past failures. He never complained to other cats about how unfair life is. He never blamed his failures on weather or other conditions. His failures were simple failures that had no special meaning. One day I noticed Nutmeg sitting on the mailbox across the street. I never saw the mole again. I could not help but wonder what it would be like if humans didn't make so much of their successes and failures. Most of the humans I know make up stories to explain and justify their success and failures. Sometimes I think the stories are just like the hole that hid the mole. They don't protect the storyteller any better than they protected the mole. I like it best when you use words full of kindness and love. I love words that address your fears and embrace your truth. I see how the words you use to get even or put others down stick to your heart like yesterday's gum and make you unhappy. Words are the cornerstones of thought. Every word you speak helps create a roadmap that keeps me from getting lost while I listen to you. I understand humans sometimes forget. Each time you touch me, I fall in love with you all over again. Touch helps heal hurt feelings and dis-ease. Your gentle touch is worth more than 1,000 of your best words. Last week I attended a funeral. Everyone seemed sad. I heard someone say, "May he rest in peace." On the way home I asked Bob what he was thinking. Before he answered, I noticed him smile the biggest smile I'd ever seen. This is what he said. "Once dead, the last thing I want to do is rest. I want to travel to the moon and stars. I want to reflect on the past, look into the future, and ride my bicycle with the wind at my back. Once dead, I want to write comic novels and learn how to play piano, have lunch with Robin Williams. I want to walk with Jesus and Ernest Holmes. I want to talk to people who didn't believe they would live after their body died. I want to take art lessons from Michelangelo and acting lessons from Burt Lancaster. I want to skydive without a parachute and run alongside a cheetah. I want to rub the belly of a leopard. I want to swim with 1,000 dolphins. I want to catch the spark of light in a stallion's eyes. I want to watch people fall in love and be kind to each other. I want to communicate with every living creature. I want to watch angels grow their wings. I want to listen to the first song a baby sings and play with puppies." Pat smiled as she extended her hand. Humans shake hands. I lick. As my wet nose and tongue gently touched her soft, worn skin, I could feel her heartbeat. After nearly a century of life, her hands still held the memories of all her children and every creature she ever loved. Feeling her strength and compassion for others set my tail in motion. As a dog, I can sense kindness, and I could tell she lived a good life. I hear people talk about the aged as if they were table scraps of memory. You can't tell the true age of a person by looking at them. The heart and soul doesn't wrinkle with age. All creatures have a heart song. Dogs have a special gift. When we look into your eyes, we hear your heart song and sing it with you. The song your heart sings has no date of birth or ending. I'm not a little dog. I think people see me with their eyes instead of their imagination, so they think I'm small. People with imagination know that when I run, I have to slow down to keep from flying. Bob and I use our imaginations all the time. For example, Bob told me every night he talks to every cell of his body and thanks each one for the work it has done. He tells the cells they no longer have to age by default, but that they can age by decision. He has decided to age backward to the age of 42 and has instructed his body to make it so. People who know Bob tell him he's looking younger. Maybe they are using their imagination, or maybe things get their start in our imagination, over time become real to those around us. I think imagination is the private workshop we use for creating that one day become public. In my workshop, ants march, crows never stop talking, and pigeons are unpaid sanitation workers who clean up after humans. My imagination never grows old. Good morning. This is your morning from Dreaming Out Loud. This is your day to say yes to your inner smile, creative ideas, and heartfelt desires. Today is the day you've been getting ready for. Now that it's here, don't be afraid to roll around in it like I do. Don't be afraid to sing and dance on its edges. Stop listening to yesterday's rented conversations. Don't allow yesterday's struggles and disappointments to make you small. Today is your day to live large. Today is your day to swim in love, embrace the morning light, allow your toes to feel the earth. Your life is a gift you were meant to unwrap. Enjoy and celebrate it with every fiber of your being. If I'm not in the house when you come to visit, I'll be outside rolling around in the grass. That's what I do. Feel free to join me. Now, there are other books that dogs have talked to their masters. And here's Deepak Chopra and his son. And so if you are a Deepak Chopra fan, you can Google walking wisdom and order that. I'm not going to peruse it. I just thought that was interesting that there were other dog to human whisperers. Okay. Come here, Jasper. Hi, baby. How are you? It's a new situation, isn't it? Yeah. During this pandemic, I would have gone absolutely nuts without this little being here. What he has taught me is to live life in the moment, to be non-judgmental. He doesn't care if the house has 2 inches of dust in it. He doesn't care if my hair is a mess. He has also taught me forgiveness. He was a rescue dog, and the people at the pound said they found him wandering around the desert in Doniana. So his first language could have been Espanol. And the first, you want to take him? I think he wants down. The first 8 months of our existence together, we were not bonded. I was his caregiver. What I was going to say about every time I moved, he'd hunker down and his ears would lie back, thinking he was going to be hit or kicked. And finally, about the 8th month, he began to trust me. How do we trust? Do we trust that the universe will provide for our daily needs? Or are we constantly worrying about money? He knows he's going to be fed every day. He trusts that I will provide that for him. Hopefully, you are trusting that the universe provides for you. Also, he's taught, I talked about living life in the present, right? And he also is so happy to see anybody who comes to the door. Can you say that too? Some people come to your door that you're not happy to see? He's just ecstatic. And so having that entity give me that unconditional love is one of the joys in my life. Okay, can we go back to the PowerPoint? Now, lest you forgot, every time I'm in front of you, we do Bethmann's 3 axioms of the science of mind, right? Next slide, please. I could think that dogs only embody 2 axioms. The first axiom is what? No. The first axiom, it's all spirit, right? The second axiom is, or love is the answer. I could not think of a way to have those dogs change their thinking, change their lives. So I think they embody 2 of the Bethmann's 3 axioms, but, you know, have you ever had a dog look at you and go, huh? Huh? You know. Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones has stated, I believe that dogs have come to earth as God's sacred messengers to instruct us on how to better humans. The problem is, few of us have been teachable. Now, I think that the greatest act of love you can give to your pet is to help them cross the rainbow bridge. Amen. It is the hardest thing a pet owner can do, but it's the kindest, most loving thing a pet owner can do. And we have a video of a pet owner who adopted a dog, and he wrote this song, Chasing Butterflies.
When I first saw you, I knew I had to take you home. My friends, they argued I couldn't raise you on my own. But I was sure that you were meant to be with me. You were my angel, sent from above to set me free. Let's get in my car, and I will take you for a ride. Go to the bar and greet all the customers inside. I won't forget all that you've done for my life. My only hope is you're up there chasing butterflies. Times, you were right there by my side. And when I needed answers, well, I just looked into your eyes. Now I don't know all of the love you felt inside. My only hope is you're up there chasing butterflies. I know we'll be together another day, another time. But until then, just keep on chasing butterflies. But until then, just keep on chasing butterflies.
Thank you. I really appreciate your attentiveness. And Cleona, if we can go back to the other power. And is it Vincenta? Is it Vincenta? Vincenta? Oh, Vicenta Gardea. She is a senior NMSU clarinet major. She's playing her senior recital this week. Mark called and asked if we could be a guinea pig audience for her because she needed to play it in front of live humans. And I said, sure. So let's give a applause of encouragement to Vicenta.
So this piece I'm doing, it's Fantasy Pieces by Schumann. And I'll be doing this in a minute.
I turned it on.
Thank you. I think you're ready. You have quite a gift. Thank you for sharing it with us today. Thank you for your loving donations. Your donations and support are so appreciated. We receive your virtual and in-person gifts, and we give great thanks for the offerings already given and those that we will be receiving, because we know that giving and receiving are both part of the flow. And we bless these gifts and know that they are multiplied throughout our community. So there's a number of folks that have pieced together this wonderful production today. We'd like to especially thank Jasper, our guest. And lastly, if you'd like to stick around after the service on Zoom and visit, or go next door into the social hall, we will be visiting. Please remember to wear your masks. And lastly, if you would join with me in reading our benediction, and then we will do our community song, the peace song. Spirit in the midst of us is mighty. Joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature and flow through us into the world, and so it is.